And now we will learn how to put in invoices using your QuickBooks Online app. It's the same tapping as any other data entry that we've done in the smartphone. You tap on the field you want to put the data into. You save the data in the field by tapping the next field, which I will show you. When you're done with the whole invoice, tap Done from the top of the screen, and the report results will change immediately. For example, let's imagine June 1, we did 2 video hours and 2 editing hours for Debbie Reynolds, the customer, and we want to send her an invoice from the phone. My profit and loss date ranges are year to date, and I'm recording this in July of 2017. So my profit and loss will change immediately after I record this. Don't be fooled by what you see on the dashboard. Look at the profit and loss. Now, before we record that invoice, let's take a quick look at the profit and loss. And the profit and loss is set to year to date from January 1 till the end of June of 2017. Now, let's go back to the home screen by typing the main menu and tapping home. And now we'll record our first invoice. Tap the main menu, scroll down until you see Invoice. You have to tap the plus sign next to the word Invoice to get the invoice screen. Now, the name was Debbie Reynolds. If you see this plus sign here, right next to where it says Select a Customer, that's where you have to tap to get your list of customers. Then tap on the customer that you want. Okay? The terms we didn't mention, but you can just set net 30, which means it's due in 30 days. And the date field is the one on the left, and the due date is the one on the right. The one on the right will automatically be adjusted by the terms. So if the terms say 30 days, and we tap here to set the date, notice the date box looks different than when we set it for the report profit and loss. We're going to hit the back arrow to go back 1 month and tap on the number 1, then tap OK, and notice the date says June 1, and because the terms say net 30, it's due on July 1. Now I'm going to leave PO number and sales rep blank, and I'm just going to scroll down. And we won't use sales tax, but we do have to put the items. To add an item, it's just like adding a customer. You have to tap the plus sign next to the word. Now, these are the items of service that our company performs. We're going to tap on editing, and notice it asks you for quantity, rate, and amount. Tap in the quantity field. Okay, you have to tap to the right of the number to get rid of the number that's there. Then hit the back button. Okay, now we said we wanted 2 of this item. Now, notice it did not multiply times 140 each to get an amount of 280. That's because the cursor is still flashing in the quantity field. But what you should do is tap where it says rate. Now notice as soon as I tap where it says rate, the computer did multiply because it saved the quantity when I tapped the other field. Since we're happy with this, we can tap here in your Android phone to go back, and then tap Add to add it. Now, we only added the editing item. We have to tap again, add the video item. The quantity is 2, so we have to tap in the field to bring the cursor there. Hit the back button, type 2. Notice it did not multiply 2 times 300. The way to save the quantity and get the phone to multiply is to just tap once where it says rate, Now the amount was multiplied. Now you have to find the back button in your Android phone. In my case, it's this upside down triangle here. So I'm going to tap it, then I'm going to tap add to add that second item. So now I have two items that I'm sending an invoice for Debbie Reynolds. I'm going to scroll up by pushing down. Okay, sales tax we're going to skip, scroll all the way down. Now you could put in a customer message, or you could tap into this field and add some memo, but we won't. And as usual, when you're done, go to the top right here and tap done. And now the phone is saving the invoice. Okay, and that's what it looks like. Now we'll talk about sending, editing, printing, and deleting in another video. But if you tap the top left button here to go back to the main menu, okay, you can now, the main menu is only showing the current month profit and loss, but if you click view profit and loss now, and your profit and loss is set to year to date, you will see that you now have a bigger number for net income than you had before you put in that invoice. That's because that invoice increased your income. Now let's do a second example just for good measure. June 2 did 3 video hours and 3 editing hours for Debbie Reynolds. Now you'll do it the same way, and again, my P&L date ranges are year to date, and I'm recording this in July of 2017. So that will affect my profit and loss after I record this invoice. Now let's do the next one for Debbie Reynolds nice and fast. Tap the main menu. Tap the plus sign next to invoice to put in a new invoice. Tap the plus sign next to customer name to get the list of customers. Tap the customer you want. Now, I like to tap on the terms and set it to net 30, and you can watch the video about terms another day. Tap the date. You get the date box. We're going to tap the back button to go back to June. This one was June 2nd. We tap OK, push down. Now when we add the items, that's the tricky part. Tap on the plus sign to add the item. Tap on editing, which is the item we want. Here's where it gets tricky. Once you tap the item, the cursor will already be in the quantity field. You just have to tap to the right of it so the number stays to the right. The cursor stays to the right. You want the cursor to stay to the right so you can hit the back button and type the number that you want. Now here's where it gets tricky. You have to find the back button on your Android phone. In my case, it's this upside down triangle. That's what you have to tap to be able, to be able to add 3 of those. Now, notice it multiplied it out to 420. Now we have to tap add item if you want to add a second item. The second item we want to add this time is video. Tap to the right of the quantity so you could hit the back button and type in the quantity that you want. Now again, to save the item, you have to hit your back button in your Android, then tap add, and it will multiply to 900, 3 times 300 each. Notice it's spelled out clearly why this is 420 and why this is 900. It's the quantity times the rate. Push down. We're going to skip sales tax, add a memo, type whatever you want, and as usual, when you're done, tap done. And again, we're going to have a separate video in the future for sending, editing, deleting, and printing. But for now, let's go back to our dashboard. And if you want to view the profit and loss, you can see now there's even more profit. Of course, you could always view those 2 invoices from the activity list. Tap for the main menu, scroll up and tap home. Now you have the ability to tap for the activity list, and you'll notice The invoices for Debbie Reynolds, and this is really weird, the invoices for Debbie Reynolds are neither at the very top nor the very bottom. And to be honest, I am perplexed as to why the most recently entered activity is neither on the very top nor the very bottom. But look, you could also see the notes that you added as part of your activity. If you want to edit them, you can edit them from the activity list just by tapping on them and then tapping the pencil up here in the top right. And of course, you could change anything you want, and after the changes, when you click Done, when you tap Done, the changes will immediately affect your financial reports.